Now, let's talk about the really important story. It is, of course, This Morning, the magazine show, the daytime show, the flagship daytime show of ITV. Its host, its golden girl, Holly Willoughby, quit 2 weeks ago after the Phillip Schofield saga, where he was caught in an inappropriate relationship with a much younger colleague. And he had to quit too because he lied about it. Now, incredibly, ITV have come up with a new system where it will require staff to declare their friendships and their romances with other people in the office, other people in the building. A lot of people there have called this rather illiberal set of demands, properly mad, and branded it a step too far. Let's talk to entertainment correspondent Rebecca Toomey. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello, Kevin.
Well, this is obviously in the slipstream of what happened with Phillip Schofield, inappropriate relationship with a much younger member of staff. It's been called grooming, the misuse of Phillip's power to suck this guy into his orbit and therefore form this relationship, etc., etc., etc. You can understand ITV are nervous about these in-house romances, in-house friendships, office romances, but their system whereby they will be told, and I'm going to quote now, if a personal relationship exists between you and another colleague, whether it started prior to or during the course of your employment or engagement with ITV, both parties must disclose this to the company at the earliest opportunity. So it's a bit draconian, isn't it? I mean, if I want to have a relationship, a romance with someone in the office, you know, it's up to me whether or not I tell anyone about it, isn't it?
Question really, who is this actually for? Is it for the employees or is it for the company and the business and ITV to cover their backs?
Yeah.
Because what this kind of reeks is there needed to be some official reaction and policy in place after the Phillip Schofield scandal. Now, whatever you think of that scandal, you know, Schofield said himself it was, you know, an ill-advised, ill-thought-out situation, but it wasn't illegal. Now, we all want some action. When the tragedies happen over a few ITV shows with people taking their lives, ITV had to suddenly instruct a new duty of care to be seen to be doing something. Now, I'm not comparing the two situations, but when something of this magnitude happens, ITV needs to be seen to be acting. So what they've done is they've created this policy, which doesn't seem to make an awful lot of sense. They're asking employees to declare whether you're friends with someone. Well, you're allowed to be friends with someone, and it's normally pretty obvious in office situations or any work environment who's mates with who. And that's just part of people politics, isn't it? You like some people, you don't like other people you work with. Kev, I quite like you, so we're lucky here, but there are definitely people who you might not get on with. But
you can come on again. No, but I mean, just to stop you for a second, Rebecca, they're defining the kind of relationships you have to disclose. They're saying you must, with other staff, defined in the document as a family relative, a close connection such as a partner or significant others, a person living in the same household, and this is the bit that really rankles with me, anyone involved in a sexual romantic or close relationship or friendship, whether short or long term. Now, I can understand why ITV are nervous because of the Schofield affair, but no company, in my view, should be demanding from its staff that whether or not they are in a sexual relationship with anyone, being they in the office or not. It's not the company's business who people are going to bed with, is it?
Not at all, but I think if we're talking about the entertainment industry, obviously that's my area of expertise, because obviously lots of different companies, banks, you know, other institutions have these sort of policies within the HR departments. But from my field, when you're looking at the entertainment industry, there can often be an abuse of power. You often have very senior people in positions and very young people who are working for not much money and sort of trying to climb the ranks. And I think in this situation, what the likes of ITV, particularly when you look at the new scandal and in the allegations against Russell Brand, all of which he's denied, but the allegations about young runners running errands for him, trying to find women for him to sleep with, those kind of situations. It's about protecting younger, it sounds patronising, but more impressionable members of the office. And I think, when are you going to say what's an appropriate situation and sexual relationship between two colleagues and what's inappropriate? Because age gap relationships or affairs aren't really any different to when two people are having an affair. Because you could also pin it on David Beckham and the allegations Rebecca Lou's made against him, which have just come out over this weekend, because that essentially was a workplace situation. It was two colleagues and
it didn't really come out this weekend. It came out about 20 years ago in the news of the world, didn't it?
But she's spoken out again. They're one of the biggest stories.
Which, of course, David denies, and so does Posh.
Yes.
So we must be careful there.
But of course, if we're looking at work scenarios between two people, where do you say, is this appropriate and is this not inappropriate? And is that for HR departments or ITV to decide what's appropriate and what's not?
Yeah, I mean, think about this. This is going to end up with the company going, well, you say you're friends with this person, but are you sleeping with them? It's got nothing to do with the company. This is getting rather North Korean. I understand ITV's fears and concerns, but as many are saying at ITV, this is going way over the top. Now let's move on to the big story. Holly Willoughby, as we know, sensationally quit a couple of weeks ago after she was allegedly threatened by a wannabe kidnapper stroke killer, threatened to kill her and everything. So she quit. I don't think that was the only reason. Far from it. I think she's had enough. Don't blame her. So there's a vacancy. We've heard some very boring ideas about how to fill that vacancy. Oh, it could be Kate Galloway and Ben Shepherd, or it might be Dermot and Alison Hammond. All these people have been there years. That's not interesting. Suddenly, there's a new name in the frame. It is Storm Huntley, old colleague of mine from Channel 5, 38 years old, Scottish girl. She could be the one that ITV want to replace Holly Willoughby, and I know her quite well. She's a great TV presenter, a very nice girl, and if ITV do choose her, they'll have made a very good decision, if you ask me.
Yeah, she's brilliant. You know, she's on Channel 5. She's a regular face. I think people are shocked because, like you said, Kate Garraway, Ben Shepherd, the same names come about. But wouldn't it actually make everyone tune in to see this new face? Because when it starts becoming very predictable at ITV, I think we do tune off, because we've got Josie Gibbs, we've got Alison Hammond, who are both, I think, brilliant presenters. But I think it needs an injection, that show, of just new energy, fresh vibe. And I think Storm Huntley has that. Whether it will prove to be true, we'll see, or whether it's just incredible PR on her part, because it certainly put her on the map today.
It certainly has. I did her a disservice. She's not 38, she's 36. Sorry if you're watching, Storm. But that could be very interesting, I think, because, as I say, she's got exactly the right aura about her to be a great host of a happy, snappy TV show like This Morning. That's what that show desperately needs. It needs a break from the past, which, frankly, Ben Shepherd and Kate Garraway are not going to provide. Nothing against them. It's just they're a symbol of the past. They need someone new to say, this is a new era. So if they do go for Storm, then I think they might have made a very good move.
I think so. And like I said, I think people will tune in sometimes just for the spectacle to see how she fares with the other presenters, if there'll be any drama, or if she'll, hold her own, how she'll do it. But the thing with that show is that it does need a bit of a revival, doesn't it? Because it had so much bad publicity in recent times this year. And even the brilliant Alison Hammond can't kind of, rescue it entirely on her own, as brilliant as she is. So I think it'd be nice if they actually shook up the show a bit more, maybe even have an entirely different mid-morning show. That would be quite good to see.
Alison Hammond has got a very nice atmosphere to her. She's very happy, smiley, laughy, but she couldn't interview her way out of a paper bag, so they got a problem there. Now, that was excellent to talk to you, Rebecca. By the way, when Storm gets there, I hope they ITV don't ask her who she's having sex with, because she might just do a U-turn and walk straight out. Rebecca, great talking to you. Thank you very much. That's Rebecca Toomey, entertainment correspondent.